Now, all right. Now I know, pardon me. Yes, the drink matches a hat. Show you the full swag later. Now, I know I've been gone for a minute. They say right over where you at, like, Carolina not the same without you. The league not the same without you. Both true indeed. That's why I'm here though. But I was asked by somebody I could not deny the request to create something like this. After all the craziness I didn't seen this week, I see a message in my group me inbox saying, yo, we doing the podcast. I say, the podcast? The podcast? Hey, it
In a
ain't nothing
minute.
to come back. It ain't nothing to come back. PlayStation Network can't knock me out of this one. So, with that being said, here we are. Welcome to the inaugural episode of what should be called? Okay, it's all DMV ties tonight, so we're gonna call this No Wellin, the
No
series.
Wellin.
No Wellin, the series, and we're gonna indefinitely have whoever want to come in and talk in the league, talk about whatever, and we're just gonna make it do what it do. So, as you can probably tell, my first guest is the very man who brought me back into the space, and I've been deprived from the game. Yet I'm addicted to it like Jordan and Peyton. If you know when you know that. So man, out in Cali, but running Madden operations in Houston, Texas. Hmm. Mikey L, what is good, man? What is up?
What's up, man? I mean, finally another episode. Yo, it's been a minute. So long. Like, the league needs it right now. It's tumultuous. I feel like even as we talk right now, there's some shit going on. I can see myself getting tagged and stuff. I know something's going spicy is going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Let's say it talking about I saw Mark and Kenny talking about some rule that allegedly Mark broke, some true clock rule in the first quarter. Nako is 6-0. We're gonna get to that later. That
Yeah.
deserves its own little thing.
Yeah, that deserves some time digging into.
Yeah, the new Nako and so much more. But
No, I'm happy though that the rules are
mm,
getting called out in the chat more, honestly, though, because I feel like sometimes people don't want to be calling certain people out, and I be feeling like I'm glad that's starting to like happen more.
yeah, so here's how I saw it from the kind of like the outside looking in, and then I'll get your full opinion on it. So now going back, the league has had it's been people, myself included. That's why I can speak on it. It's been people where they just want to see a downfall. They just want to see a downfall. And I was the first guy that claimed that space in the league. And now I would say Mays is that guy. But in between then and now, it's been this whole in between has been like I feel like a continuous case of like the rules being some rules maybe gray areas if you will being maybe not violated, but certainly put into question one way or another. Like with me,
Yeah,
there was there was a whole ironically, there was a whole true clock thing. Like I was supposedly taking the clock down to like, 1 to 2 seconds every play. When I'm just studying the defense now,
yeah,
now the defense I know has a flaw based on my opponents. So whether it took me 5 seconds to figure it out, or whether it took me 20 seconds to figure it out, I found it, and more often than not, I made the successful adjustment. But it's been stuff like that, and then as of late, which you can expand on the whole this D line thing. So now I know you ain't Houston. I know what you like 5-1, 4-1,
I'm 5-1 right now.
5-1, and I saw that margin of victory prior to all the craziness going on. So
Yeah, good
man,
point.
everything is bigger in Texas, including the talk right now. So tell me, man, what is up?
Here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing against Mays because one, he's like you say, like he's one of the best players in the league. So like
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to playing against the best. So if I'm playing against the best, and the one way they're winning is based off doing something that's exploiting the AI, And I know because I do it sometimes because you can do it on passing down. It makes sense.
Right.
But if you're continuously doing it against the AI and getting the same result, I mean, man's have 4 sacks and 2 forced fumble touchdowns, bro.
I saw that in the chat. Yeah, I saw it in the box
That's
score.
not regular, yo. That's not normal. That's not normal. If you keep doing it and keep getting the same result, I mean, it's like, come on, like. And if you notice too, like, only time I ever call people out is continuously the same player. But I'm not even gonna get on that a lot. But I'm just saying it's always the same player. I'm just saying, but if you're just continuously exploiting AI and it's right there in the rules, it says like we know when somebody is winning because of strategy or they're winning because of they're exploiting the AI, which is what he kept doing. I couldn't even drop back for a pass. I didn't have 1 second. I couldn't even run a screen.
It felt like Deshaun Watson in real life.
But like no, but like in all seriousness, like I like playing against Maze though. Like Maze is like he knows how to play Madden really well, I'll say. And I think he has a good like football IQ. Like so that with that combined, it makes it a little like his understanding of the game. He knows how to like do certain nuances that make him win. And that was what was happening with the user DL, I felt as if.
Okay. So now see, I think with this, you have like I feel like it can go 2 different ways. But the first thing though is this is like because all right, you came in the league, you know, at the start of Madden, which is Madden 21, so Madden 20, right?
Yeah, I only played last year.
Yeah, and instantly you were like, you know, because we were fighting for that top, you know, representation in the Super Bowl and the NFC instantly.
Yeah, every year, every cycle was us in the championship.
Right, like it was us until my connection gave out beyond repair. And now this year, you know, you in the division with the same player in Mays who there was that whole thing with the Super Bowl, with one of those Super Bowls last Madden, and now it's like the continuation of it. So that's what I like about it. I like the longevity of it. It's like I have like this history, and now it's extended into y'all being division rivals.
We've actually met in 3 Super Bowls. And I technically won 1. I'm not even going to say anything about that either because if I say something, people are going to attack me in the chat. Like, oh.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
just saying, I technically won 1 and 2 against them in the Super Bowl, but just saying.
yeah, I'll say this though, and I know this from experience. It's better they attack you for one possible win, however they want to say it, one controversial win, than no wins and 4 losses.
That's true.
3 losses, mind you, for context, I know 3 losses, mind you, by a combined 5 points.
All the same player?
Nah, I lost to Chris by 1. I lost to Mays by 2, and I lost to Mays again by 2. I like 9-7. Who's doing that? Like
that's a crazy Super Bowl score.
It's crazy because he scored no touchdowns, but he won the game. And the Super Bowl before that, I did all I could. I held him to 250 yards.
Yeah,
like neither one of those things are happening in a game with Mays probably before or since.
That's a fact.
You know, here I am, nothing.
Are you coming back anytime soon? Or?
I think I'm gonna come back for 22. See one thing I didn't like, and then we'll get back to where you know you're going with everything. Yeah. One thing I didn't like is one thing that I couldn't play, and I couldn't play in my opinion as a competitive person who feels that I still feel that there's not 3 players better than me in the league. Regardless of there might be 3 better resumes, there's not 3 better players though. And
that's how I feel.
And missing part of the time that I'm missing season 1 to come back, defeat Mark, who we know, who Twan says, you know, and Mark's a good player. I'm not saying he's not top 5, he certainly is, but Twan says he might be second best all time. I come back rusty, 3-0 sweep, regular season to you know make my playoff push, knock him out in the playoffs, and then in case that wasn't enough, week 1 the next season. But
that's a good point.
Yeah, you know, so I feel like with that being said, I feel like had I been able to play the full season 1 and I get the number 1 seed like I would have had compared to I was like the 5 and I had to go to Atlanta a week early and play Ty. And again, Ty's another guy's like, in that top tier.
Yeah.
But Ty will tell you, because we had discussions about it. The penalties on Julio Jones, that pass interferences, they talking about that today too, pass interferences. There was a game, the first game we played this cycle, Julio Jones had like 2 catches for like 54 yards or something. Okay. But 3 penalties, 134 yards. On Julio Jones, that made the game close. I won that one 30-20, but if those penalties weren't there, it would have got crazy. And then in the playoffs, he was down by like a point, I think, and he threw a bomb deep, and a pass interference put him on the 1-yard line. I'm like, man, it's hell trying to get to heaven. But
and no, that's a good point. Like, I think Marcus only lost like 4 times all this Madden for him, including
yeah, like I don't like
I think he's lost that many times.
Yeah, like I think he lost in the Super Bowl, the one before this one. But yeah, he lost 2 straight, I think. 2 straight Super Bowls, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he just lost to Kenny, but before that, I don't really know the last person that beat him.
Might be you.
Yeah.
But no, on that point of like respect and coming, like, making sure you're earning yours, like that's something I'm coming for this season, because
right.
I went on vacation on second cycle and I was 8-4. And I lost my last 4 games and I got out of the playoffs. Yeah. And I missed my first 5 of the following season. So like, I was just kind of just like, I was coming on to Adidas, and like I was just kind of like not really focused, playing games. I was listening to people I probably shouldn't have lost to. So this season, I'm making sure, like, that's why I've been super active in the chat, calling out everything. I'm making sure it's known, like, I want to really win this year. I'm really kind of like make sure I'm focused for real. Yeah. I even got, because the thing that's been the big thing now is like, yo, my connection keeps dropping mysteriously. And on the point of Kobi, like, I want to bring to the point that like my connection didn't drop in that instance. Kobe's definitely dropped, and I got the screenshot to show if you want me to drop it in the chat right now. Because it said so we played the first time and it dropped in the third quarter. It said on my stream, your opponent connection is having troubles, and my stream also continued to stay up. And I noticed when we played that following morning that when I paused it at halftime, he dropped, and it said the same exact thing. Your opponent and my stream stayed up. So that's one that's one point. And he probably knew that the first time. That's why he was trying to get that one so badly in the chat. But I'm not even gonna say anything to Cole because I got the dub. That's over with. I'll see him next cycle.
Okay. Now, so with that, about your division. So you have Mays, still Kobe, from what I believe is still playing. Yeah. And now Tennessee is vacant. But
who was Phil? Who was good for a good while?
Yeah, and I was gonna say what were your thoughts? Like, what were your thoughts when you first got into that division and you see who you're up against, and in that AFC where it's like it always seems to be crazy in terms of just the disparity every cycle, it seems like.
Yeah, the AFC is nutty right now. 5-1 and I'm the 5th seed. it's crazy.
That's wild. Like
when the AFC South was like active, I feel like it was like mad competition. It was just like everybody in there. Like at first I was kind of tight, like I'm about to play this nigga Maze 2 games a year. Like fuck, like come on, bro. Right. But like regardless, like it's just fun. Like it's dope playing playing Maze and Kobe, because like now it just reminds me every time he beat me in that first Super Bowl for my first year. So like every time I play him now, it's just like revenge for that.
Right, mad Super Bowl rematches, it's nuts. And then in the case of Maze and Kobe, they had like their own little playoff thing over this cycle as well. And I think they both traded playoff wins in those games, especially the one where Maze was home and Kobe came in on the road, I believe won, was good because it set that whole following season, that whole Maze revenge tour kind of narrative.
Yeah, sure.
That's one thing I wish, though. I haven't really. I have, in terms of like having a division stack like that. Certainly not the conference. I haven't been in the AFC but one time. But the one time I was in the AFC is me It's kind of like your setup where it's like 3 champions, and then you have Phil who won in FM, but he hasn't won here. He's been in the Super Bowl here, but just hasn't won. But only time I had anything like that was I was Oakland in Madden 17. You had Brian, you had B, who had beat me in my very first Super Bowl of the 4 losses. Yeah, Jose.
Brian still is Brian.
Yeah, he was Kansas City. Jose
Okay.
went to Denver, not Flash Jose, but Shoes Jose.
She was also
Yeah, shout out to him by the way. He went to Denver, and then you had Justin, who was the very first champion in this league's history, since we started in this format.
Do I know? Is he just in the chat still?
Nah, Justin
Okay.
long gone. But he was the Chargers, and they called the division 3 champions plus 1 because I was like voted the top player. So it was a dope. It was dope, but my mind wasn't right because I was in Carolina. So seeing how that team, what happened to the team that I built, this was going to be my favorite year, my favorite team, because I built them from scratch. I didn't have Cam. I didn't have one of the people that was hitting crazy when we were playing last year. Like
every time I play you, I have at least 3 fumbles.
Right, exactly. I have none of them. I'm just like, I built them from the ground up and finding people and building them up. And of course, they couldn't forget about quarterback Weezy, young Dane Watkins out there.
What is Dane? This Watkins player that you just always create him?
Nah,
or you edit him?
Yeah, so it was really Tyree Jackson, but being that I have Cam for the first time as being the Panthers, I was like, and Teddy won no option. I'm not using him. So I was like, my favorite pick was between I think Shaquille Griffin and Tyree Jackson. I saw him, and I got the personalized Panthers jersey somewhere here. And I was
I've seen that post.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm the quarterback. I've been the best quarterback in this game for X amount of years now. So why not put myself in the game actually? And that was that. But current matters though. So 5-1. What's the rest of the season looking like? Who's on your radar? Who do you think has you on their radar? Like what you think about what the league right now?
I mean, my schedule was kind of light because I had a high draft pick from last year, so I feel like it's very light in the rest of the way.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
The only opponent I'm really looking forward to playing next is like Mays, which is in week 16 for real. that's of course. Because I feel like the trash talking is picking up a little bit in the chat. I feel like even as we talk right now, you see it's going on. Like I'm loving it right now. It's like the juices are flowing for real. Like I feel like everybody getting a little bit more focused. Like you seeing, like I was talking to Nick on, like he's like 6-0. He's always focused, like making sure he's putting in that work right now.
Yeah, Nick. Let's talk about makeup for a minute. I was going to go to your schedule. Come back to that. What is up with the new?
I respect it. I'm not gonna lie. I respect it. He's putting in his work. He's coming
He is putting in work though.
Who's he beat so far? I don't have the schedule in front of me.
So I'm gonna pull it up right now.
I know he just beat Bean.
Right. Yeah, he did just beat Bean the other day. So his schedule so far 6-0. All right, averaging. I don't know the context. So I'm gonna just read the numbers. Averaging 40 points, first in the league, with 184 rushing yards per game, first in the league. Allowing 17 points, third in the league, with only 177 yards passing allowed, fifth in the league. So doing it on both sides. Now, here's who he beat. David, 47-10. I don't know what happened.
Super Bowl hangover, maybe. Probably had the plays in Super Bowl.
Yeah. There was that. There was he may or may not have played this game 23-20 against Corey, the Broncos, 45-7 over the Carolina Panthers that have since been ruined since I've left. Or I was forced out rather. 31-21 versus the Bears, 63-21 versus Bean, like you mentioned, and then 31-24 over Mark, Tampa Bay Buccaneers Mark. Shout out to him, by the way.
He beat solid players. He beat solid players so far.
Yeah. It's a good list. I would say certainly the Chargers win. The The Bean win was good, and the Tampa Bay win was good.
Like
Mhm.
when I seen Nico play last year, the first time ever to see him play, I was like, "Yo, has he ever picked up a controller? Like, what is he doing?" Like, I remember him with the Saints. He was not good at all. Like last year, like
Man,
he's definitely put in some work with it. Like from what he was with the Saints last year to now.
yeah, it was insane. And I'll look at it like I think when the schedules got ordered, the team selection got made, and I saw the layout of the division was like 6-0, division 6-0, but yeah, I can say like him, he's not the same, but with Will, like he's come a long way. Nico has. Will's come a long way. Seeing that over the years has been, yeah, it's been cool, and I think having Gilmore in New England, but specifically
Yeah,
Gilmore, don't hurt at all. Um, and
he
yeah, I
beat me.
mean,
He
but
beat me
it's
last year.
hmm.
He beat me last year. Yo, I'm not gonna say that because we'll say something crazy in the 2K chat. I'm not gonna bring that back up.
But
Just no, I didn't
yeah,
forget. If we play in the playoffs, I got a special gift for him.
oh, I'm hoping for some Texans Patriots action. But yeah, it's good seeing people like come up in the league. Like even I'm trying to think of like when Dez had his first playoff game. I think that was last
That
cycle.
was like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
yeah. And I remember I played him in the second round. I think I beat him.
right, right. I remember that too. I was hoping Jeremy was going to beat Dez and then go give you a tough game. Because I was like, if he come to Carolina, if Jeremy come to Carolina, Jeremy Rowan come to Carolina, he already know what's happening. He
The NFC was
don't
so
even bring
great
the
last year,
bag,
man.
huh?
NFC was so great last year.
Oh man, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. But yeah. So it's cool seeing seeing the underdogs kind of come up. And speaking of this game of the week with Nico and Kenny, 5-1 versus
should,
6-0.
should
Like,
be a good one. I think Chris and Mays play this week too. Should
man,
be a good
I
one too.
think Chris just advanced. They just got finished playing. I think Mays won, but it looked like a good game from the parts that I didn't see. I only saw like the last. I didn't even see it play. I just saw like where they were in the game. It was like 3 minutes left. Mays was up like 38-28.
Oh, nice.
But, um, but yeah, like it should be a fun. Certainly in the NFC and the AFC is always crazy. Fun fact: I don't know if y'all seen this. Speedy quiet as kept. I believe is like competing
He
for
was
a playoff spot.
in the
Like
AFC North, yeah.
yeah, where nobody wants to win because Speedy might be the hottest thing going in the North right now. Like beat Twan twice, scored 48 one game. The other game I think he dominated score wise. Like I'm gonna get Twan on here because for multiple reasons, football and
You got
otherwise. But
some call-ins right quick, or
I should, but maybe not on this. But the next one for sure.
okay.
I'll make because this like when they see this, it's gonna be like they're not even gonna know what happened. But the
Yeah,
next one,
yeah.
I'm gonna start like taking like I guess applications kind of. But yeah, Speedy in the hunt. Um, I, yeah, I'm just looking forward to like now I have reason to like really get back in and watch because I couldn't watch for a while because not being able to play, knowing what I was planning on doing, it just hurt too much. And then to
Yeah.
see, the dude that had like 3 or 4 plays get control of my team out of my control completely.
Yeah, that was weird. That was very weird.
Yeah, I told Mark, I was like, hey Mark, now listen, I know I beat you all the time, right? Like we know I am the superior player, but this one time I'm on your side. Please beat that guy that's running the Carolina Panthers because he don't need to be in the Super Bowl with my team. Uh-oh. Hold up. We just had a little interruption. But like I was saying, I'll get Mikey back in here in a minute. We don't need to have a guy like that in the Super Bowl. And shout out to Mark because he did his thing. Now, while we get Mikey back in, about this show. So I think we could probably do this every Sunday. I'm thinking every Sunday. Now I got some structure in life. Every Sunday, I think sounds about good. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the league, and we'll just see who's able to or who wants to come in, anything like that, and we sit and talk about it. There's only one rule though: no Wellin. Don't be coming in here, man, rapping and capping. you know, because the lion ain't flying, and that's that. But let me see something real quick. Let me see if his phone might have died. I don't know. But while we wait on that, solo segment for a minute. Let me see. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't evaluated what's been going on, the teams, the players. Now I'm giving you straight context, like no context. I don't really have much context right now. But let me look at these standings. Let's see what y'all doing. Let's talk about that. League standings. Let's do it by conference. Okay. Flash 5-0. Okay. Mikey 5-1, Mays 5-1, Jeremy Rome 4-1, David 4-2, Tone Buffalo Bills 3-2. Hey, when is that rematch with Will happening? Because when that game happens, I gotta have one or both of them back on the show. And then you have Will 3-2, Twan 3-2, Speedy 3-3, Chris 3-3. I'm sorry, I said Kerm 3-2, Twan is 2-3, and then a couple 1-5s, a couple winless teams. NFC, Nako 6-0, Ty right there 5-0. I'll give you my little Super Bowl pick in a second. My almost mid-season Super Bowl pick. Kenny 5-1, B 4-2, Mark 4-2, C's 4-2, Bean 4-2, Mark Buccaneers 3-2, and from there we got a few 2-4s, a few 1-4s, and then nothing too relevant after Mark Buccaneers. Now, who do I think gonna go to the championship? NFC, has Ty been in the Super Bowl yet this cycle? I don't think he has, but I think he's back. He had that season where he had the quarterback change, and I don't think it went too well. But I think he's here to stay this time. I think Ty gonna go to the championship. If you had to ask me right now, subject to change, I think Ty is the guy to beat in the NFC. Nako, I gotta see it longer, bro. I got pause. I have to see this level of play. I gotta see you demonstrate this level of play, Mikey coming back. I gotta see you demonstrate this over the course of weeks at a time, not just 6-0, not just 2-0, because it's that one season where you was 2-0 and you posted standings in week 2, and then week 17 I didn't see you. So 6-0 now is great, it's perfect. But listen, you in Titletown, you in Green Bay. You got to pull the Lombardi and get to the Lombardi at least be playing for it before I can be a full believer.
Is Nico?
Yeah. While you were gone, I was just kind of just winging it for a second, giving.
All good. My bad.
Yeah, you good. I was just saying, like NFC, I think Ty is the person to beat right now. That might be from personal experience, but I think the history kind of proves it. And Nako don't, in my eyes, don't have enough.
I think it needs to be Mark until proven in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Kenny's 5-1 right now too. He's killed the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing well.
Yeah,
that game against Mark was crazy.
I gotta see that game because I saw there was like an onside kick involved. The one time I don't watch them play, that was one of the few like rivalries or divisional rivalries that I would watch, like Kenny and Mark. But I didn't see the last one, and apparently I missed a good one.
Yeah, I think Kenny scored with like a little bit less than a minute, and then covered a one-side kick, and then I think scored again and won the game.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy.
So, all right. So, as far as back to you for a second, your place in the league, you're a year plus in now, second full cycle. In the hierarchy of the league, where are you ranking yourself? How you see yourself?
I feel like there's only 2 players better than me right now.
Okay.
And I'm not putting Mark in this. I haven't played Mark really. I don't think he was. Did he play? Was he the Raiders last year?
Mark, yeah, he was Oakland last year.
Okay, I don't even think I played him last year. If I did, I think I may have beat him with the Raiders, but I didn't beat him with Washington. But only 2 people I think are better than me right now is Dave and Mace. 2 people I have not beat yet at all in this league.
Welcome to my world. That's how I feel. Like out of all the guys, I can truly say those 2, and Reggie when he's active, but in terms of
Yeah,
active
Reggie.
right now,
Reggie smacked me. I played on the whole line.
David and Mays have been the two biggest thorns in my side over the past post Oakland. So ever since Madden 18 on.
What is it about those two players, you think?
Hmm?
What is it about those two players, you think, that makes them like so well? Always in the Super Bowl, always contending.
Yeah, I think Mays. I think what it boils down to is just knowledge. But there's goes in different ways. I think Mays just overall understands, has a mastery of the concepts, the everything. Like he's a machine. He's a technician. There's nothing.
He calls great play. He has great play calling.
Yeah, and I remember like, and I feel like the difference between him and myself, and where there's that separation, is that me, when I get in the game, especially a big game, I can even say that this happened versus you in that first NFC Championship. I remember Cam got hot, he got the little extracted thing, and I didn't even run the ball with him because I was like, I don't want to use that to win.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, and after the game, which you won in 24-16 because on that fourth down, I saw the blitz coming. I knew what it was. I just hiked the ball, and before I even saw the read, I knew the timing of it. I just couldn't get to the button quick enough.
That's what's killing me this Madden a little bit. It's hard to get pressure.
Yeah,
it's hard to get pressure this Madden.
It's crazy how like a Chase Young or like the Aaron Donald can only have like 4 or 5 sacks for a season. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy.
So I'm saying, so I understand the usering behind the DL.
Right.
You just can't abuse it because offensive line, defense, just as pointless as defensive lines are this year with low sack totals, offensive line is even worse. So if you're constantly abusing the user, like the AI, I mean, that's kind of cheese. I'm just sorry. That's why like it kind of like was like it sucks because I look forward to playing Nate. So that's why I was like, yo, it's cheese. You gonna BB want some exposing the user AI like this, bro? Like you can BB in much better ways than this. Like who wants to play DL the whole game? Anyways,
and there is a trade-off because it's like I do have a question for you about that, dog. I gotta play a little devil's advocate in a second.
I want you to.
Okay. That trade-off though, it's like, and me personally, I'm too scared to use the D line. I realize I'm not gonna get pressure 9 games out of 10, but I feel like for what people like to do against me or like to do against me when I was playing, I'm like, I need that coverage with the linebacker, like, or the safety or whoever. Like, I gotta protect the rest of the field. Like, I'll let somebody throw because if I know where they're going to throw it, then it's like cool. But it's that trade-off. It's like you either gonna get the pressure or you're gonna sacrifice somebody adjusting and not, not being able to cover it. Which brings me to this. Now, I did see in the midst of all that, when it was going on, I did see. I think it was Brandon that posted the your offensive lineman's rating. I seen a 74, I seen a 72, I seen a 68. Like, I mean, do you think?
I love Brandon. Yo, Brandon, I love how Brandon's always so informed on all the games. I like watching the games. Make sure I hit the ball. I'll fuck with the
That's what happened. Yeah, he helped
Chat
me.
needs that at times. No, that's a fair point though. But like, it echoes the point I was making though. Offensive linemen aren't that important this year. If you look at like the top Russian teams, they're the best offensive line.
True. They have
the best run. They have the best run concepts. It's literally right there in the rules. I should bring it up right now. Actually, even read verbatim what they say to make it as clear as possible. Because I keep bringing up the screenshots.
No. Matter of fact, don't bring it up yet. I'll probably post it tonight, like, because ain't nothing really going on. Or maybe I should wait till like Monday where it's like more full day. But either way, by like noon tomorrow, I'm gonna post it. So we just had a conversation.
Yeah, because like that's a fair point. Like that's a fair point. Like my offensive line not the best, but at the same time, if you're constantly just abusing the computer, which is easy to beat on all pro, not even all Madden, all pro, so it's even easier to beat. Yeah, I mean, you're constantly going to do it. You're going to get 4 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. And you look at I had messages to Chris like real mad, like yo, Chris, you see this? I was like, yo, Chris, like, bro, there's no way like I can like score 40 points a game against everybody else and then not be able to complete a pass against one person. Like, and I've played this guy before multiple times, and like I've
Right.
been able to like move the ball against him.
So now, okay, so this happens, right? And let's say like you like in a game and because I know how it is when something crazy starts happening. Like my problem historically has been fumbles. And I felt like because the game
Especially
is
against
going,
Mace.
yeah, I feel like the game is going to balance things out. Like I feel like because I wasn't throwing and don't really throw any interceptions, I get an uptick in fumbles because the game has to create a sort of balance. Do you think with so do you think that with that happening, right? And you'd be like in the middle of it, and I know how it's like you can get kind of and anybody, not just you or me, but anybody, like a player, something happens and like a player's like frustrated now, like they're kind of off kilter a little bit. So do you think that affected you in terms of like maybe going from your normal style of offense to maybe more like check downs and quicker plays to kind of counteract that?
No, not at all. Because I would double team him. I would leave my running back in to block him as well. Like nothing at all was working to block this one player. I was doing like I couldn't even throw the ball quick. I couldn't even do a slant play. I
Man.
couldn't even get like and the way he has his like defense set up, he's like covering the flats and like the
Mhm.
corners so well. He wants you to throw the ball over his linebacker so he can get an interception easily. Sorry.
Mhm.
He's
Man,
about to beat me up right
and
now.
that's and just going back to May, the whole Mays and David thing, that's also the thing. It's like they have like their, it's like chess, like where like most players have like their next move figured out. Like, I feel like those guys, among maybe a couple others as well, are like they have then all right, they're going to attack with the D line. They're going to play the hard flat, so you can't check it down in the longer developing routes. You don't have time for anyway, and it's just like you in a bind. And it's like, what you going to do after a certain point? And to David's point, when I think before, I would say Madden 17 to Madden, certainly Madden 17. We use Madden 17 alone. It's the best user in the history of the game. Like simple and
Yeah,
plain. Like
no, for sure.
I remember playing him. And this is what I love. Like I love the history of Leo. I remember playing him in Oakland. Again, I wasn't doing too hot in Oakland. I was not having fun in Oakland. But I remember season two, I started to come back around a little bit, and I he was next on the schedule, and I was like, everybody throwing picks to this man. I'm not throwing him. I'm not throwing one to him. Like not only am I not going to throw one, we're going to compete because nobody seemingly has been able to compete with this man at that point in time until the playoffs, which he eventually got over, and he started winning championships. But that game, I was down like 10, no, I was down 17-10, I believe. I got the ball third quarter. Hadn't thrown a pick. I'm watching the linebacker. I know where he's going. I know where I'm going. And I felt like I had him a little bit off balance, but Le'Veon Bell fumbles like first play of the quarter, and there goes everything. Like that was it. I don't think I threw a pick that game. I don't think I still threw one, but certainly like it
So
was
like
good at that point.
he can
Momentum.
just read everything you're doing on defense, like just so easily, just like move people over and like put people in the right position like every time. And
Yeah,
it's
he's a guy like I feel like has because if I can say one thing I feel I do the best at, I feel I can adapt. I feel I can make anything my
I
own. I
agree.
can I can win running the ball. I can win ugly. Like a game where I'll score a touchdown or I'll score like 10 points. And people say, oh, you ain't got no offense. Like, no, like I just didn't need 11 points or more to win. But I can do that. I can be a 400-yard passer. I could throw for 4 or 5,000 yards if I wanted to, if I needed to. Could shut you down, can win a shootout. I feel like David has adjusted kind of in a similar way, but relative to his own like areas that he could have improved. So I think now you say I saw a comment like a few weeks ago talking about his route patterns, his route combinations, saying they're like the best in the game. I haven't really seen too much gameplay, period. But I could believe it though because I had a whole cycle against him. Um, three cycles ago now when he was in Atlanta and I was Carolina, and we had games like he won the lion's share of them, and honestly, it wasn't really close. I think I won like two of them,
Yeah,
but
I feel you.
but the crazy part was nearly every one of them came down to the wire, and something just happened. You know, maybe he made a better play, whatever the case might have been.
It's that motion he does. It throws
Yeah, I've
everything
seen a
off.
lot more of that too in his receiver that I should have took in the, not that I would have been able to use him, but I should have taken that draft. I had the chance to. I took a lineman, I think, but that receiver that he ended up getting, you know, I feel like expanded his offense even more. So he adjusts really well with like he keeps his own game kind of unique to him, but I feel he also adjusts to what works. But that's generally all the greats also.
Yeah, and that goes back to the point, like, bro, like that's why this season, like, I'm really coming from my respect. Like
Yeah.
season 1, I made the playoffs, and season 2 and 3, I was kind of on vacation. So like this season 4, like my second cycle for real. Like,
Yes,
focus.
it's almost like somebody's holding your playoff spot. Really, like somebody was borrowing it for a little bit of time, and now you back to take it.
No, that's a fact, bro. Like I really want to win my division. That's really what I want to do. I want to be made on the division for real, for real.
Yeah.
I think he knows that too. which is why he started using that D line. But
I'm trying to think of something to get us out of here on, but I don't have anything. So I'll let you take it. You can say whatever you want, and I'll just be here to listen. You can adjust the league. You can ask me. You can just say whatever. It don't matter to me.
All I'm gonna say is there's 2 things. One, I just want to make sure the rules are gonna apply to everybody fairly. I don't know when the last time a commission has gotten a suspension. I'm just gonna say that and put that out there. but because sometimes it just looks like the rules only apply to certain people on certain times, and then they get suspended. But when we bring it up for certain people, or it's the same person bringing it brought up for, it's just like, oh, it's just okay. You know what I mean? But it's all good. Like I'm just like you said, I'm gonna adapt. 5-1, a lot of season left to be played. Like I'm just coming from my respect this year. I feel like a lot of people, even Will mentioned it. He like, yo, after I beat Kobe by 50, I didn't want to bring that up because Kobe did get kind of crazy in the group chat after the second game. But I'm not gonna say anything about that. Because after I beat him by like 50-7. Will I mentioned he was like, yo, Mike, you back? I'm like, nah, I meant, I'm like, yeah, I noticed that. Like, yeah. I'm back focused right now. I'm back focused right now. I know what vacation's coming up.
Oh man, post vacation, Mikey, a whole problem. Matter of fact, I got something to get you out of here on. I just thought this on the fly. So I'm asking you 3 questions, and it'll be so I ask question, am I Wellin or nah? And you can tell me the answer, am I Wellin or is it truthful? And your explanation on why. All right. Number 1. I should say this one for number 3. Number 1. Kenny will make a Super Bowl before you. Am I Wellin or nah?
I'm gonna say Wellin just because he's not gonna play after this cycle.
Okay. Okay.
So he might make a Super Bowl this year. Kenny's focused this year. I've been talking to him a lot. He's in the zone this year.
Yeah, y'all. I feel like that season, the first season last year when you made the championship, playing him, then playing you, that shit did not work in my favor. I know it didn't work in my favor. I've been there so many times. But I'll get more in that in future episodes, I'm sure. All right. Number 2, am I Wellin or nah? Will win the AFC East again.
He won it last year?
I don't even remember. I don't think so. I think first one. No, I think Will did win it. Yeah, I think he did win it again.
Nah, I'm going Chris. Chris. Yeah, I got Hopkins signing.
Oh, he got Hopkins?
Yeah.
Got Hopkins. I know he got Donald and his receivers that he was building up before. That's crazy.
All he do is high pass all game and catch that shit.
that Auden Tate special. I do remember that.
Because right now the Bills are 3-2 and they're in the third spot in the playoffs.
Tone trying to make some noise.
He said he's not losing that no more this season.
I did see that. Tone would be perfect for a format like this. I'm gonna let him talk his trash. I'm gonna holler at him soon. All right, number 3. Okay. Am I Wellin or nah? The last team to lose a game will win the Super Bowl. You have Nako, you have Flash, and you have Ty. Matter of fact, let me rephrase. Let me rephrase that. That just made me think. Number 3, am I Wellin or nah? This season, Flash will make his first Super Bowl appearance in his Nike Talk run. And he an OG too, so it's been like when they talk about like best
He's on
players.
fire this year. He's 5-0, but I think he may have got like 2 Sims already though.
Oh, maybe.
I know it really comes down to like what he gets on the playoff matchups. That playoff role can really help you out a lot. That seeding.
Yeah, that's
it's hard to tell right now. But to answer that first question, who made their first playoff? Was it Mako?
The last person to lose their first game.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Oh, just like who'll be like the last undefeated team or unbeaten team in the league.
You know what? I'm looking at Nico's schedule right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see Nico's schedule. Nico could very well actually go. Well, he got Bean one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna go Nico. But I know Bean gonna be focused for that game.
Yeah.
He's gonna be focused for that one. I think he did like 8 picks, something like that
game. Sheesh. So Nako, the last unbeaten, you think?
We're gonna go.
Nako, you get love, Nako. Listen.
Nico's focused, man. 6-0.
Yeah, like I respect that. I see Aaron Jones got almost 1,000 yards already.
He's looking like me last year for the Packers.
Right. And ironically, Green Bay, both times. Like I feel like certain teams have. It's funny how like this league, like you can go back and you just see like a particular, not a player, but a team's history throughout the years. And Green Bay has been that team that has always been like where people go to get their initial success. Like Kerm had it when he was there. One of the what now also helps the Green Bay user that generally the division competition in terms of users isn't that great. But I can say Kerm had his first playoff experience with Green Bay. You obviously, took Green Bay to Super Bowl, and here Nico is now having his first like legitimate success with Green Bay. Like it's a startup. Like Green Bay is like the tech industry startup haven for Madden. If you want some success and you ain't had enough, pick the Green Bay Packers. They get users that don't want to be there. Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota.
Typically low-tier draft picks.
Yeah, draft picks. They're young, relatively speaking, and they got that. If you like home field advantages, they got a room with that snow. If you can make the playoffs, particularly at home. But guess we gotta leave more. We gotta see what happens over these next weeks, man. But it's always real. Getting to chop it up. And this, I'm sure it won't be the only time. So,
not facts. I'm gonna leave with one what do you call that? Hot topic.
Okay.
For the league to sit with.
Okay.
I've only pulled the plug with one player. That's all I'll say.
Hold on.
It is not Kobi or Mace.
No. I know where this is going. Hold on. I think I know where this is going. Because I heard last year. Now it wasn't me. Not me. I heard from a person that I trust very much that he was that guy you put that plug on.
All I'll say is I put it on one player ever, and I never put it on nobody else. My connection has been shitty this season. I will say that. Like people who've been playing 2K with me, like C's and Will and all them, they've seen my shit. I should be dropping sometimes. But now I'm hardwired. Now I'm good.
Also, you talking to a internet trouble having internet veteran as well. I had some, man.
I was starting to get a bad rep. I was like, yo, I'm not trying to get the rep of like, I'm just pulling the plug and I'm losing. Like, no, that's not me. I pulled the plug with Kobi. Like, come on, bro.
Last question. And if I'm wrong, you don't have to mention the name. But if I'm right, would you admit it?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it Jeremy?
No. Oh, Jeremy? I've never pulled up on
Hey, Mr. Rome, you heard it here. Listen,
I
you
never
heard it
pulled up
here.
on him.
It wasn't you, bro.
Wasn't that up in that game too? Or
He
maybe
said
like
he
down
was.
by one or something like that.
He said he was beating you, pretty good, and then he
And then
said,
we played again.
yeah. Then you played again, and then you won. He was
That's
like,
how you. That's how you know. That's how you know, bro. That's how you know, bro. Like if somebody disconnects and like somebody connection was shitty first, and then you beat them, and they play again with a better connection, and then they dog you. Like you know it was the connection.
Kenny still probably remembers this. So he probably told you the history. You probably know most of it, but Kenny was like, he almost made a Super Bowl, but I was want to stop him every time. Like something happened where he just didn't beat me. He had this one game, and this added to my. I got this like. I had some some stuff coming against me. He had this one game against me. He was up like he scored on a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. He was up like 35-24 at the end of the first half. Chicago versus Carolina. Madden 15. And then the connection dropped. I ain't pulling no plug, Kenny. Listen, my hand's clean. I ain't pulling no plug. But I can't, but he was like in the chat at the time, because I pulled a fake punt on Mark that was like frowned upon, just like the week before.
See, that was like the right person, wrong time type shit.
Yeah. So everybody was against me. They was like, oh, I rather than pull the plug. So we played again, and it ended up being 44-7. I'm like, listen, look, if you come with the same game plan twice, I can't control that.
That's a fact.
But yeah, man.
This is a good one though. This is good.
Yeah, it's fun,
man, for the chat. The chat needs this.
Yes, sir, man. I gotta find a way to be connected. I think this is it, and also just for the league, because I've been I always suck with the write-ups. It took too much time, but I think this is better. It's more interactive, and I just hope more people get on board, because we can keep this going even when I am back playing, and of course with all this, we in the house and stuff all the time, most of the time. Got nothing.
Some like hot topics come up in the chat or something crazy happens.
Yeah, so we gonna see. I want to post this now, but I'm gonna see. Post tomorrow.
You just posted today. Why not?
Yeah,
unless you think there's some like game plan. I feel people gonna see it regardless.
Yeah.
Let's have somebody record it. Like let them know.
I'll go ahead and post it now. Why not? So yeah, I'm gonna put. We're gonna say they talking about. We're gonna start the week off right, and yeah, this won't be the first. Oh, well, it is the first, but it won't be the last. And definitely, when I'm out LA, for sure, we'll link up.
For sure.
Yes, sir. All right, man. I'll let you sell. I'm gonna keep an eye on y'all now. I'm gonna keep an eye on Houston.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Built up. I want it to be now. Finally.
All right, dog. Hey, good luck the rest of the season. I'll be in the chat. I'll holler at you soon.
All right, bro.
All right.